Hey there folks, welcome back to the shop for another lapidary adventure, and like so many of them, it starts off by rifling through some bins of eggs to cut open, and they're so much fun, they're so beautiful, but this video is not about that at all. It has nothing to do with those bins, it has everything to do with this bin of thunder eggs. And inside that special bin of thunder eggs is one in particular that is very beautiful and rare, and it has a star inside it. And what I plan to do with this thunder egg is to take it and polish it and hopefully turn it into something that resembles this. And I know you're thinking, oh, that's so simple, it's just a polished thunder egg. But the outside of the thunder egg, the matrix, the host, it is very crumbly, and I have had some heartbreaking experiences with polishing thunder eggs, so I'm extremely nervous that it isn't gonna work out. So we're gonna take it nice and slow, and we're gonna start on the first wheel on my Cab King, the 220 grit wheel. Let's fire it up and get started. So normally when I'm polishing stuff on my Cab King, I'm wearing a respirator to protect my lungs from silicosis and hearing protection, but I'm just gonna talk for just a brief second and then I'm gonna get my PPE on. But I'm gonna start the polishing off with this by taking it and working around the edges, bringing it down, because I want just barely a domed top. And this part is the longest part. It's not the most delicate part. We got to be careful through the whole process so we don't get any hot spots, but we're pretty much going to be working it like this and taking little pieces off it a little bit at a time. This is the longest part of the polishing process, and as you can see right there, it's a slow process. So I'm going to spend some time working on this. I'll let you know when I'm done, and we'll move on to the second 220 grit wheel. One of the hardest parts about doing a slightly rounded face polish is getting that flat spot out of the middle of your stone, and you have to be so careful on that diamond wheel, because if you nick the edges at all, you will get some really deep scratches in it, just like I just did. I got a couple of them, but all you gotta do is hop back on your diamond wheel, take it nice and easy. The key here is patience. If you have a lot of it, it pays off in the end. And of course, as soon as we get back to grinding, I run out of water. So, random fun fact, one of the things that I deal with here in my shop with that giant water tank is very cold water. So I bought something, bucket water heater. You plug it in, you stick it in the water, you turn it on, and it heats the water up. I'm gonna fire that up and see if it works. If it does, I'll tell you where I got it. It's heating up. Look at that. After about 4 minutes, we got it up 10 degrees, way better than it was before. I'm content with that. And considering how miserable it's been to try to polish stuff lately with the cold water as the temperatures are getting cold up here in Minnesota, I think that is definitely worth 20 bucks. So I got that bad boy on Amazon. It's gonna be linked in the description on my Amazon storefront. Quiet you, we have a lot of work ahead of us. We have to get back to grinding on the Are you picking music? Come on, man. Okay, we have a lot of grinding on the 220 grit wheel. All right, well, change your camera angle. Anyways, we got through the first 220 grit wheel. These bad boys look amazing, and we can finally get to grinding on the second 220 grit wheel. The reason I have two is because the first one is very new and the second one is very old, and I found that it just works for me to go through those two stages before hopping on the res wheels.
So after a long while of grinding more on this second diamond wheel and inspecting these bad boys, I'm happy to say that we are now ready for the res wheels.
I cannot tell you how happy I am to be done with the 220 grit wheels. That took so long. I don't think I've spent that much time on a stone on the 220 grit wheels, taking my time, trying not to ruin this beautiful Thunder Egg. So now we get to move on to the res wheels. And this is the easy part. This is the nice part, but it's the part that I need to be so careful. I have to use a lot of water because I have such a big face on these Thunder Eggs and I don't want to get hot spots. If there's hot spots, it will crack and I don't want that. So let's fire this bad boy back up. We'll see you after this 600 grit wheel and I'll kind of show you the difference between the 220 grit wheel and 600 grit because I'm only going to polish one at a time. We'll get them both done, but happy to be on the res wheels.
This half of the Thunder Egg is through the 220 grit diamond wheel, and this half is through the 600 grit res wheel. You can see that our Thunder Egg has started to accept the polish, and I'm happy that now we can go back and get our other half caught up to the 600 grit res wheel, and we can start whipping through the polishing process. We are so close to being done. We have the 1200 grit res wheel to go through, and then lastly the 3000 grit res wheel. Oh, I am so excited to see that mirror finish on both of these eggs.
So we have finally finished polishing our 2 cut Thunder Egg faces. It took about 2.5, 3 hours, and normally in about 3 hours of time, I can get anywhere from 10 to 15 pieces polished. And the difference here is the size of those cut faces. With those wheels, the diamond wheels, they're wider than the diamond wheels, and that's what takes so long because you gotta be so careful not to put massive gouges in them. But let me show you our finished pieces, these beautiful star Thunder Eggs. And that polished Thunder Egg that I just showed you under macro is the one that I'm going to be putting up on my shelf. But anyways, I really want to thank you all so much for joining me on this very fun lapidary adventure. I had a blast as always, polishing that amazing star Thunder Egg. I have cut so many Thunder Eggs and I have never ever seen a star inside of them, even if it looks like Patrick from SpongeBob. But it was a lot of fun. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Bye.